Okay, we are live, everybody. But right now we're having some technical difficulties with Craig. He just appeared on Skype. And let me answer this. Craig's calling me right now. So he just appeared on Skype and then very quickly disappeared after he said he nearly broke his neck. So this is the reason we're live. Actually, here he is. I'm going to switch over to add Craig in.
So it's not really too much of an issue.
How is this? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, are we back in business? I think we're back in business because I just realized.
Speed test. I've got pretty fast internet here, so there's no problem there.
Okay, so this should all be working now, but there's a slight delay, so you guys should be catching up. This is the beauty of going live.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the beauty of going live.
This is why I've never gone live before on my own channel because it's so much stress. It's all good. I'm here. I'm relaxed. I'm sitting on my desk. I've broken my fingers, but you know.
Have you broken? Did you fuck your phone up as well?
My phone's a bit fucked up, but you know, it's fine.
What's wrong with it? Is it
It's slightly cracked.
Where? Oh god, I hate that like moment of when you drop your phone and is it cracked. Sometimes I'd rather it would be cracked just because the anxiety of picking it up makes me freak a little bit.
I know. It's not really so much about the phone I'm worried about, it's cognito. You know, not being able to do cognito.
I am just sharing the links on social media. I think so, guys. Welcome to the Sunday session. It's the second episode, and today we have dramatically big news, huge news, especially for. Well, actually, let's not say anything. Let's give. I know a lot of people are joining. I'm sharing some links on social media right now so that people can get time to join. And I don't want us to give away the announcement just before anyone gets in.
Load too early, Lloyd.
That's what she said. How was your day? So you've been in Nottingham today.
I have. I've been in Nottingham doing a gig. I like Nottingham. It's very nice. It's
I just assumed you were there because does Dee still live there? Dee Christopher?
Dee doesn't live there anymore. Dee lives in Ipswich, but Jack Curtis, who's Dee's business partner in the 1914, he lives in Nottingham.
Right.
So two shoots that I've done with Dee, and the third shoot that's coming up very, very soon, they've all been in Nottingham.
Amazing.
And they always like just hire some random place to do like the shoots in. It's just so random. I'm a little bit offended in some ways because when they did Alexander Marsh's shoots, they hired a full-on theatre for him to do his thing in. And when they did Lewis's shoots, one of them was in these like old caves that looks like beautiful and so magical, and the others were in like an old university. And when they did Alan Rorison's shoot, they had it in this like old speakeasy type bar that they hired the whole thing out from. When they did mine, they put it in a disused warehouse.
Keep talking. I'm just open. My dog's going crazy. In a warehouse.
In a kind of a disused warehouse type thing, where there was a crazy woman that kept banging stuff next door to us. So you know, I don't know what that.
You know what? You know why they did that? It's because you are a worker.
No, it's because I'm fucking mental, I think, to be perfectly honest. I don't know.
To keep you away from the general public.
I don't think a fancy place like there was lost.
So we got some people in the chat. We got a lot of people in the chat already. We got Chris James took a guess saying a huge guest coming on the podcast, unless he means you, obviously. But I think that Craig is pretty huge. True, guys. Craig's a huge guest, but I want you to put some guesses in the comment section. We have genuinely big news, and it's not that we're having a guest on the podcast. I want you to put some guesses in below. Let's see if anybody guesses it. I know for a fact one person knows what it is. Not from the chat window. Obviously, me and you. Shalim says, "Hey, bro, I'm a magician from Bangladesh." That is freaking awesome. I'd love to go to Bangladesh. Have you ever been to Bangladesh?
No, I haven't. No, I'd love to, though. My favourite... You've travelled all over the world, Lloyd. What's your favourite place in the whole world?
India. India, without a doubt.
Really?
Yeah, favourite country of all time. It's where I'll probably retire, I think.
Oh, okay.
Well, you've been out? Yeah, you've been out of the UK, right? Because you work so much,
I've only ever been in the UK. I've never left there once. Of course I have.
I know a bunch of people that have never left the UK, but I don't know.
I went backpacking around. I've been backpacking around Australia for a year. I backpacked around America for a year. I did Camp America with Brad Henderson when I was 18 years old.
No. Did you? What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I worked in American summer camps when I was 18. I worked in the Performing Arts and Sports Centre in Storuca, Pennsylvania, and there's actually a funny story behind that.
Go on.
Because I got into magic and I wasn't very good. And I realised that I wanted to get myself a job as a camp counsellor in America.
Yeah.
So they have big, trade shows in the UK where you can, all of the American summer camps there, and you can pitch your services to them. And if you can't find anyone who'll take you as a camp counsellor, the only way to do it is to go as a kitchen staff, and I didn't want to do that. And I thought, well, I've got no skill. I'm not very good at sports. I'm not good at anything, but I can do this magic thing. So I'll go in and I'll be a magician. So there was this Performing Arts and Sports Centre. Luckily, the guy that runs it knew nothing about magic. So I went there and I was like, hey, I could be a magician. He was recruiting a magician. And he was like, oh, great, what tricks do you know? And I showed him the only trick I knew at that point, which was basically dynamic coins. Beyond that, everything was crap. And he's like, yeah, you got the job. And I'm like, amazing. And when I got to America, and it was the point of no return, I got to this summer camp, and there were 4 camp counsellors, and the head guy that ran the whole director of magical studies was Brad Henderson, who is obviously the man.
Yeah.
And we were there, and we're all talking and everything, and everyone was shuffling cards, and I didn't even know how to shuffle a pack of cards at this point. I was very new into magic, and everybody went round and was like, show me a trick, and they were all doing this mind-blowing stuff, and I was like, I don't really know any magic. So
what?
You could tell that Brad, I didn't hardly know anything back then, so you could tell Brad was really furious, but he couldn't send me back. He was stuck with me. So the coin magic stuff. He gave me a copy of Bobo's, a copy of Super Magic by Paul Harris.
That's one of my favourite books, Super Magic.
And he basically just said, you're teaching coin magic, and I said, I don't know anything about coin magic, and he said, learn. And I basically spent the whole of the summer teaching coin magic, and the kids and I were trying to figure it out together because I didn't have a clue what I was doing. So that was my experience with Brad Henderson.
That's one way to do it. So you just literally jumped into the deep end.
I blagged my way into it. There's no way I deserve to be there.
Someone is saying, some people are saying that your volume is low, but I've got you at max output. So I've got an idea.
I've got my microphone in, and
I've got an idea.
I'm about as close as I can get to this thing.
I'm going to take this microphone and angle it towards my speakers, and then you say test 1 2 3.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 1 2. Test 1 2 3.
Right. Hopefully that works, everyone. Give us a yes if it works in the comments. I want to say Rory Adams is in the chat.
Oh my god, I'm starstruck.
Yeah.
Hey Rory.
For everyone who doesn't know who Rory is, he's One Ahead. If you have an extra device, open up oneahead.club as a website on your phone or your tablet or your Mac right now, and check out Rory's fucking incredible magic newsletter. Rory's one of the best magic consultants for TV shows in the world, and he writes a pretty open access blog. Well, it's entirely open access, and there's nothing that compares like it in the world. It's to give you a real, true behind the scenes and trick explanation sort of style knowledge. One Head Club. You're a subscriber, right, Craig? I'm a subscriber.
Oh yeah, I've subscribed. It's amazing. It's the best value in Magic. It's amazing. It's brilliant.
Yeah, so everyone go and check that out. And Rory just said that he was going to get Craig to tap his mic. Your mic isn't on, Craig. There's an on button on your mic.
Yeah, I know. It's on.
The mic plugged in?
There's a green thing there.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely on.
It doesn't matter. Everyone's saying that they can... It sounds like your input isn't coming from...
It says on, off, and I've got it switched on. Screw you, Rory.
Rory said, thanks, Lloyd. PayPal you the cash now. Josh said, I love his newsletter. Right. Guys, you must understand that me, and especially Craig, with no offense taken, we are not tech gurus.
I've got some audio settings here. This is fucking seamless, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Audio settings in Skype. And
I mean, honestly, does anybody actually use Skype anymore?
No, I mean, I'm using OBS and I have to use Skype just to get through to you. Just to get you on this thing live somehow, because I don't really understand
hang on.
Hangouts.
Microphone, pro microphone. What's this microphone called? You suggested it to me.
Q2U or something. It's like Samsung Q2U or I don't know.
That better.
Oh, it's way better.
I didn't have that microphone selected.
Oh well, there we go. Okay, now he's up and running, guys.
So there you go. So hopefully that's a lot better. Is that better for you?
It's way better for me, man. It's crystal clear.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Sorry, I'm a technophobe. I haven't got a clue how to do any of this stuff.
Review asked me, where in India do I want to retire? Answer's easy. Goa, Palalam Beach, dream paradise place. I spent a month there when I was 21. It's where I decided really that Magic was going to be my career. I came back from India after a month away and was like, yep, there's no way I'm working a normal job. Like, the world out there.
Let's be honest. Anywhere in the world would be a major upgrade from Wales.
It's true, yeah. Except for Birmingham.
Well, yes. I mean, that is the cesspool of the UK.
I've never seen people so excited to hear your audio better. Yeah. I mean,
better. Oh my God, I'm so excited. There you go. I'm so excited. This is cool. It also shows a giant Muppet, and I didn't have stuff selected, but at least I was booked. Yeah?
I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I think it's Way Kevin Luck has replied to Rory saying, love the new lottery trick. Have you seen it on this week's newest post on One Ahead?
Oh, is it I haven't read it in full yet, but I skimmed it. Is it the
tossed out lottery prediction?
Yeah, tossed out deck type. Yeah. I read it.
Hell, is that not one of, if not the best, because the best lottery prediction trick you've ever seen to do it in a practical manner in a parlor setting or stage?
Oh, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, I don't know how Rory can continue to deliver such massive value every single week. And this isn't the sales pitch for his stuff. I genuinely mean, I have no idea how he continues to deliver at such a high level. He must be sitting there shaking like a leaf when he's trying to write his next newsletter, because he's like, well, I've peaked every week now for like 50 weeks. What the hell am I going to do? I'm just going to crumble. But he never does. He then delivers the following week and the following week and the following week. It's incredible.
Max Maven is in the chat and he said, people are so excited to hear Craig's voice.
Are you serious? Max Maven?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I feel nervous. I feel like I need to put on my best self now because he's a god. Max, hi. Thanks for tuning in.
I'm just excited that I'm on the chat with another wrestling fan, because Max is a fan of wrestling, and I'm the biggest wrestling fan on the planet. Yeah, I heard. Who told me that? Somebody told me that Max is a huge wrestling fan, but I don't know who
Max,
it is.
are you a wrestling fan, or is somebody just winding Craig up? Because that would be the best troll ever, to save it, tell you this years in advance, and then you just to say it falsely online.
I already had a huge respect level for Max anyway, and then I found out he was a wrestling fan. It went through the roof.
Roy said, shaking like a leaf made me choke on my chocolate. I can't tell if that's a euphemism or if he's genuinely choking on chocolate. Hi, James Samuel. James says, how are we? We are good. You're doing very good.
Hey, it's James Samuels, the man, the myth, the legend. How you doing, buddy?
Actually, Craig, have you ever interviewed Max Maven on your channel?
I would love to. I would
I'd love
absolutely
to
love
see
to.
that
He gets mentioned on the channel every week. Somebody
Yeah.
on the Q&A this week said, what's the best resource to learn equivocate or equivoke or however you want to pronounce it?
How do you pronounce it?
I always go equivoke. I don't know about you. It splits the audio. I tend to go equivoke or magician's choice, because at least that way I know I'm not going to get it wrong.
I don't think I've ever said it without saying equivocate. I mean, equivoke, either one. Like,
Yeah,
I think
right.
it's if you say it, you've got to say both.
But the best resource is, did you ever see Multiplicity that Max put out on LNL?
Yeah.
So
Incredible.
good. So good. I know the other one I was talking about that Max did the other day. Did you ever see, I think it was either Nothing or From Nothing. Did you ever see that project that he put out for LNL?
Called Nothing, I think.
Nothing. Yeah,
think it was
when he
called
literally did a show for half an hour and he just went to the drugstore for 10 minutes beforehand, bought all the stuff and then just winged it. I was like, that's amazing.
That
And
actually
it
was like a turning point for me and my magic and mentalism, was watching Nothing by Max Maven, because I'd seen him at the session and he I was way too nervous to talk to him, and then went back, bought loads of his stuff, binged it all. I remember thinking, that's the way. Like, how often do I talk about on this channel, on the podcast? Like, how long have I been staying? I try to perform with as little props and materials as possible. A massive inspiration for that was watching Nothing from Max Maven, because I realized that the power should be, if you are a magician, if you are magic, so to speak, you should be able to do it anywhere, anytime.
And another thing, talking about Max Maven, I said I had a gig today. I did Pocket Nightmare about 10 times.
Did you?
I hadn't done it in a while, and I saw it on my side. Ryan had nicked it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do Pocket Nightmare. I sometimes forget how killer that trick is.
Yeah.
You actually think about what happens. They think of a card. They think of any card, and it's in your pocket, in your hand. It's just incredible. What an amazing premise.
Well, there's so much good material from Max alone that's what you need to do on one of your. In fact, maybe we can curate some. But you did that quiver video where it's was it 13 quiver routines? You've got to go through Max's material and pick out the strongest, your favorite stuff. Although it'll take you about a year to go through.
He's got so
everything.
much material. You could do a special on Max Maven just off the stuff he put in Richard's Almanac. Because there's so much stuff in there. But then you had the colour series, you had Video Mind, you had all of the projects he's done over the years, and then that's not even counting his pseudonym when he was Phil Goldstein. Was it Phil
Goldstein?
Phil Goldstein, yeah, or something like that.
I went towards Goldsmith, but I think that's because that's the name of a jeweler's, isn't it? Goldsmith. It's Phil Goldstein, I'm sure.
Yeah, and he had so much stuff.
So, David Teamroth says, in quotation marks, how do you say equivocate? Well, there are two pronunciations. Start by pushing one of them towards me.
That is
Rich
rude.
Relish says, is that why Max's DVD was called kayfabe, as it's a wrestling term? Is that pronounced?
Yeah, it is a wrestling term, kayfabe is, yes. So maybe it is.
What does it mean?
If something's kayfabe, I mean, obviously, back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s, people used to believe that wrestling was real. Now we know it is real, but, but it's predetermined, right? And if something happens in kayfabe, it means that, they're pretending. It's really complicated, if you're a wrestling fan. But it basically means that I'll get into it another time. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's hard to explain. It's a bit like the offside rule in football. It's a bit hard to explain, but I know what it means.
Craig, I have a question for you from myself. So, Max Maven was called Phil Goldstein's. Michael Lawrence said it, confirmed it in the chat. If you were going to have a stage name, what would it be? Genuinely, like for real.
If I was going to have a stage name,
Yeah.
The Great Patini.
Oh.
Let's just go old school with this shit.
The Great Patini. That's cool.
The Great Patini. Although, you know what? You know that trick that I've got coming out with Prop Dog?
Yes.
At Blackpool. That we're filming.
Mm-hmm.
I was at Prop Dog. There's a reason for this, by the way. I was at Prop Dog
on Friday, just going through the final, making sure everything's correct, and it is absolutely 100% correct. So he's making them all up at the moment. Do you know what he wants to call the trick? I'm like, no, Mr. Bonsall, you can't call the trick that. You cannot call the trick that. Do you know what he wants to call it?
Do we want to know?
He wants to call it Craig's Salty Balls.
Oh, fucking hell. For anyone watching, the trick is nothing to do with salt. Yeah. What? Craig's. I mean, he's not joking. He's not serious, is he?
Yes, deadly.
I mean, because you just said it on the show, then it has to be the name.
I really don't want it to be the name. I think he's obsessed with balls. Didn't he call Paul Martin's lottery prediction with a pen pad like Paul's balls? I think he did.
Dave's balls, Paul's balls, Craig's balls,
Lloyd's balls.
I love that your balls are specifically salty compared to the rest.
Yes, they are.
Craig's salty balls, but.
Craig's salty balls.
And then they come with a little carry pouch, so you can have your little salty ball bag.
Yes.
What's happening to this live stream? This is going so south.
I'm going to tell you something. I've got an interview coming up soon with Matt Wright. And he's talking about some stuff that he's got coming out soon.
Yeah.
And he's got a new... Do you remember his nut dropper?
Yeah.
Like, I do that in Parlour all the time. Well, in the interview, he talks about this year he's got a walk-around version of nut dropper coming out. That you can do walk-around, like no preparation. You can do it anytime, anywhere, which is amazing. And Kathy at Murphy's wants him to change the name because it's nut dropper and it's all in a bag which allows you to do a walk around. And Kathy at Murphy's apparently won't let him use the name Nutsack, which I think is fucking brilliant personally.
Well, it's better than like a scrote tote. I feel terrible. This is supposed to be a professional podcast with a big announcement, and we're talking about Matthew Wright's scroty ball. Fucking hell. Anyway, so we have enough people in here, I think. There's been a couple of guesses of what the huge announcement is. I'm not going to confirm if anyone's right or wrong, but guys, give 3 guesses what you think that you think it might be, what you want it to be, and give us a guess of there's no way it could be.
Bearing in mind the cat's out of the bag and I'm lecturing at Blackpool, which is very exciting.
I know. Have you planned what you're going to lecture?
You know what? I've been thinking about that because I don't want to do the same old shit. So,
if there's one person that I'm not worried about running out of material that is unseen, then it's you.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing a lecture, which is probably going to piss off a load of the dealers at Blackpool, but screw it, about how you don't need the latest trick. And instead, you can take what you've got in your drawer that you've done for years, and you've always done it the same way, and how you can turn that on its head and do something completely different with it and save you money. Don't buy anything new. Instead, channel your creativity and think about how you can take something that you already have and how you can present it or perform it in a different way. Like what I've done with Visible and like what I've done with the Beyond Stebbins project and that Quiver video that you referenced and, and stuff like that. I think that'd be a very interesting, and then give lots of examples and teach lots of tricks using stuff that they've got around the house.
Yeah. That's an amazing one. I've spoken about this sort of thing before, but more as a test for creativity. Is taking existing plots and methods and using them for completely different, in a completely different sense. So, taking like a classic stage illusion, like a floating lady, and thinking then how can I incorporate this into using the method for a mentalism effect.
Yeah.
Or taking other classic methods without giving them away on camera, and then flipping them on their head and taking them into a place that doesn't even feel like that they should fit in there.
Yeah.
And I think there's so much you can do. But would you have examples that you're going to be throwing?
Yeah, I think I'll teach loads of tricks with stuff that they've probably all got that they've not done anything with that you can like literally turn on its head.
Fantastic. So we got a couple of people commenting. James O'Toole says the card index. I can confirm that's not the huge announcement, but that will be its own thing one day.
You need to release that soon. I've been hyping that up on the channel for about 6 months, and people are ready to kill you if that doesn't come out soon. So you and Javier need to get your.
I have about 8 of them there. Someone said you're trying the nuts. Looking forward to seeing Craig. Richard Osterland is in the chat. Wow. I am so nervous right now.
Honestly, is this like mentalism royalty day on your channel?
Yeah, what's going on? Hi, Richard. You've massive fan. Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing.
I'm shitting myself.
You and I are big fans of stacked deck work. I mean, some of Richard's breakthrough card system, and the radar deck are 2 examples of just incredible card magic that you can do.
Have you interviewed Richard on your channel?
No, he's somebody else. I've now got 3 people that are on this thing that I want to interview on the channel. Max Maven, Richard Osterland, and Rory Adams.
Guys, please reach out to Craig and let him interview you. I would interview you.
I'll tell you what, my
I'm
go-to mentalism trick that I do all of the time is off Richard's DVDs. He's old school. Not his 13 Steps to Mentalism, the ones he did before his first set. I think it was not his Easy to Master Mental Miracle. He did so many DVDs through L&L. His first DVD through L&L, he had this thing where he had 2 people come up on stage. One person lends a watch. The other person writes down on a business card a time. They hold on to that. The other person twiddles the knob on the watch.
I've seen you perform this live.
Huh?
I've seen you perform this.
Yeah, I've performed this live all the time. It's like my go-to mentalism, mental magic style trick. It's amazing. It's absolutely brilliant. There's so much gold on Richard's DVDs. You can forget about anything else. You can literally just put yourself an act together just based on what Richard Osterland has put out over the years. I'm
so nervous that Richard Osterland and Max Maven are in the chat that I feel like we've overhyped this big announcement now. I'm like, okay, this is not that
let's
big.
have both in the chat. Can we have a Richard Osterland and Max Maven mentalism off?
Yeah,
that'd be really cool.
So we got Josh says it's a very special Blackpool for him too. I don't know why. Josh, why is it a special one for you?
Is he allowed to say? I know why it's a special one for him, but is he allowed to say?
He said open up tip-in. I don't know what that means. I don't know how to open up tip-in. What is that? I don't know how to do it. Oh, okay. Very upset there's no way to send a tip on this YouTube live stream. How do I do that? Do I have to be like monetized? I don't need tips. Leather version of Nexus wallet. Lloyd's mum says love it. I don't know if that's my mum. Mum, if that's you, what is my favorite color Ninja Turtle? My mum would know that. And what is my favorite color Power Ranger? If that is my mum, is that really you? Please don't be on here. Craig now works for Murphy's. That's a great guess.
Can I just say, hell will freeze over. The devil will ice skate to work. Appoint Mr. Frosty the Snowman as his right-hand guy before I work for Murphy's. As much as I love Murphy's and I love the people that work there, I don't do well with people telling me what to do. It would be 0.2 seconds before somebody had something shoved up their ass. So no, that's never going to happen.
I'd like to imagine you like your first week of work, and it's like, right then, so Craig, we need a team meeting. Basically, you've pissed off so many people that work with us that we've now been reduced to to selling it in only countries that don't understand what you say.
I think in my first week of work at Murphy's, I would go find Dead Bob. That's the guy that's in charge of the downloads, and just remember he's dead. There's a guy in Murphy's in a room somewhere, and he's dead. And he fell asleep on the accept button when it comes to downloads. So there's somewhere in Murphy's head office where there's a dead guy, and there's a big green button and a big red button, and he's just dead, and he's just saying yes to every single download, and that's why there's so many crap downloads coming out through Murphy's. My first job would be to find Dead Bob, bury him, and then just constantly press that red button over and over again until my sanity goes back to normal.
I mean, Dead Bob's a great guy. I don't know if you've ever met him. We like to, at Christmas parties, we tie him up like a puppet, and he just flops around.
I thought that was Bro Gilbert you did that to.
And is Bro Gilbert coming over to Blackpool?
Oh, he should do.
He'd be the number one actor, apart from you, obviously, that I'd be going to see. So David Team Roth says, favourite colour Ninja Turtle has to be green. I can neither confirm nor deny that until my mum, whoever says Lloyd's mum, confirms it.
My favourite Ninja Turtle was always Raphael.
That doesn't surprise me. He was the angry
he was
turtle.
Stroppy.
Yeah, he was the angry turtle. You have a resemblance to him.
Raphael rocked. He was very misunderstood. No one else liked him.
All right, so it's half an hour into the stream. I think we've made people wait long enough.
Yeah.
Do you? Let's begin. I'll start off, and then you can finish what the announcement is. There was a post made in the Magic Podcast official discussion group. That's the name of it on Facebook, by a member.
I think it was Rich Relish, actually.
Rich Relish, yeah, is a local guy to me from Wales. He suggested something late last night, was it, right?
At some point last night. It was before I went into my gig, which was at 7, so it was in the evening.
I didn't even see it till this morning, at which point you had replied saying, Lloyd, can we do it? Rich made a special request for something to happen, which is a bit of a, like, when I read it, I was like, oh God, this is going to be, we're going to have to go rogue, we're going to have to do this and that, and it's going to be somewhere that nobody's going to know. Then you called me at about midday today.
Mm-hmm.
Midday today, did you say?
Yeah, midday.
And told me the following.
So basically, I had a phone call from Russ Stevens today, who's a fan of the podcast and is in the podcasting official group. And he said, hey, I saw the post by Rich. Are you serious? Would you and Lloyd be up for doing a podcast live? And I said, hell yes, we'd be up for doing a podcast live. And he said, we'd love to make it happen and make it a part of the official lineup at Blackpool, which is incredible. So, I mean, it's official. Craig and Lloyd, the Magic Podcast, we're going to be doing a live podcast.
A live
audience.
episode.
I did point out to him, you do realise there's a fair bit of swearing, controversial subject matter, and it's not for everybody. And he said, yeah, we're planning on putting you in the Gillows Bar, which is where we film Beat the Wand, and we're going to have you on the Friday evening after the the gala show. So people will go into the gala show, come out, get a drink, and then come and watch us do our live podcast. And he said, nothing's off the table. We can swear. We could be controversial. So, yeah, the Magic Podcast, 6 weeks after being launched, is now officially part of the lineup at the Blackpool Magic Convention.
So, yeah, that's the big news, guys. We're going to do a live episode. Thanks to Rich Relish for having the idea and posting it. If it wasn't for him, this wouldn't be happening. And, yeah, thank you, Rich. He's there. Everyone's saying, wow. Yeah, craziest thing ever. For me, it's my first time being involved in Blackpool, apart from being a guest for the last, an attendee for the last, I don't know, 2 decades, whatever it is. And it's going to be crazy. We're going to be doing loads of audience participation, so we'll be doing a live Q&A. Hopefully, if Craig can convince someone, we're going to have a special guest.
Oh, let's just tell him.
No. It's got to be a surprise. I know, we don't blow your load.
Honestly, if we can get the guest that I'm wanting to get as part of the podcast, it will blow the roof off the building.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a giveaway at the.
I think we need to do loads of giveaways.
Yeah, I think we need to do a shitload of giveaways. Maybe even like an award ceremony for some things.
A pseudo award ceremony, yeah.
Like the Razzies.
Worst creator, worst product at Blackpool.
Oh, dude, please don't give me any more of those awards. I have no more space on my shelf. But also it's going to be live. It's going to be 10 times worse than the normal podcast.
Yeah, you don't see how much we censor ourselves. Imagine.
It goes down behind the scenes. I mean, this is the rule, right? The podcast isn't censored, but there's some things that just cannot be broadcast. Like, no matter how much we try to push the boundaries, there isn't. But when we're live, we are fucked. There is no red tape on that crime scene. And it's open source. So, okay, we've got some guesses coming in for... oh, God, somebody says it has to be a 24-hour podcast special.
Why not?
Episode. This is huge, cool, which I was going. Abraxas says, yo, guys, what's going on? That's Nathan Lindley, amazing YouTuber on the scene. Peter Eggen is a guest. Peter, someone says. Josh says Peter. Brett Kruger says goat. So yeah, guys, I think that's huge news because it was only even suggested by one of our avid listeners, Rich, last night. And then today, within under 24 hours, or maybe just 12 hours, definitely under 24 hours, it was set up and we've got a location, place.
Here's the thing. I mean, you and I said to you just a few months ago in November, do you want to do a podcast? And you were like, yeah, okay, that'd be fun. Like, there's tons of podcasts out there. And there's tons of really good podcasts out there. 6 weeks later, Mark Elsden, who I've got a lot of respect for. I think Mark's great. In his top 20 things of all time, he put the podcast as one of the best 20 things of the 2021, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And then you've got looking at the viewing figures, it's incredible how many people are actually watching this thing, which, like, from a standing start listening to this, which is incredible. And then you've got like Blackpool reaching out to us saying, hey, we think this is a great idea, let's make it happen. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is so...
it's kind of overwhelming in a way. It's you've got the Midas touch, Craig. Everything you touch turns to gold.
I don't know about that.
I do. I'm pretty certain about that. Michael Patterson says, felt asleep and just tuned in. I think you mean fell asleep. Keith O'Brien, hey guys, hope you're thriving. Oh man, do you know Keith O'Brien? I fucking love Keith O'Brien.
I don't know if I do. Do I? Do I know?
He lives in Vegas, always at Magic Live. The best company to hang out with ever,
cool.
And has the best dog in the world. I don't know if you can somehow get me a photo so I can put it on screen or show my phone, but Keith's dog is the best, and he's a great magician too. Such a good. Do you know there was he's a bit of a craftsman. There was a time ago when there was like these card displays being shown everywhere of like cards cascading out of a box. The box looked like it was levitating. The cards would cascade down onto the mat, and it was like an art piece. And Keith was the guy making them, and I think Copperfield even ended up getting one and invited him onto his private jet. Like, yeah, really big deal. So what's up, Keith? I haven't seen you for ages. I was messaging him a couple of months ago. Just I think it was like happy birthday or checking in. Been a while. Michael Patterson. Oh, for fuck's sake, fell. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a pretty big deal. It's going to be really exciting.
I hope amazing news. I hope it goes well. Amazing news. And it just shows how much Blackpool has changed over the last few years. I can't imagine Blackpool 5 years ago wanting you and me to do this. Or not this, but to do the podcast live at Blackpool. I don't think that's the image that they would want to put across, really. And now, just a few years later...
It's got to be because of Russ Stevens' involvement, though, because he's really making it into something special. Like, it's going... with his involvement, like, so thorough. And so deep in it now. It's becoming... Because, years ago... It was. I'm talking like a long time ago now, but it was seen as just sort of like obviously the convention happened and it had some amazing lectures that I'll never be taken away from. But it was seen as like the convention you go to just to like have a party weekend in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is years ago, and now it's a convention that people are booking for the serious side of it more so. I feel. And it's got this change in attitude towards it, where people are seeing it as it's always the biggest convention in the world, but it was always like a sort of a weekend away, but now it's people are going to study and learn and become better magicians, which is the best thing ever.
And there was a question mark coming into 2022 whether it was going to go ahead. I think looking at how things are in the UK, I think it will go ahead.
Yeah. I think
it's very sensible that the lineup that they've got this year is kind of more UK based and Europe based as opposed to going out to America. They've pushed Kevin James back to 2023, and I think that's. People would. Oh yeah, they've pushed a few people back to 2023, and I think that's the smart thing to do. I think that You know, I think that most people would just like to see the convention go ahead this year.
I got a photo of Keith's dog. Where's that screen?
Oh my God, that is the cutest dog ever.
You see it? Wait, let me see. Where's my focus point?
Down a bit, down a bit, down a bit.
There we go. This way.
Down a bit. All I can see is the paw. There we go. He looks a bit grumpy though.
I love Keith's dog, man.
He looks like he's had a bit of a
Best
bad
dog
day.
ever. Like when I went to so I did my honeymoon in Magic Live, and Keith met my wife, and we came back. You know what it's like when there's a woman at a Magic convention. People just sort of like they always use the spectator and stuff. And like one of the only people Kaylee remembers meeting was Keith. And then she was on the other day, and she was like, "Oh yeah, he's also got the best dog." So yeah, I miss Keith. What did Rory say? Lloyd, you're just older and don't party anymore. Yeah, that could be it. It could be it. Juan Tamariz said such a cutie. I don't think that's really Juan Tamariz.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm now starting to think that maybe my mum wasn't in the chat either. Oh, so Review said, will there be new love cards though? What are love cards?
Is he talking about the trick that I bought out through World Magic Shop in 2010? Is that what you mean? I bought out a trick with Russell Leeds in 2010 called Love Cards.
Maybe. Could be that. I've never seen... Have I seen it?
You've never seen Love Cards? No.
I'm guessing from the name that it's something like Anniversary Waltz with cards?
No, it was like a book test based on little cards. You know those cards that you can get? You can't really get them anymore. Little poetry on cards that you put in your wallet that you buy your loved one. I love you more than chocolates and that sort of stuff. It was all based on that. It was good, but it was not something that would work now because nobody carries them around with them.
Chris James said, Chained is so good. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig, for, I think it means for telling us about it. And you got me onto that's Chained by, what's the guy's name?
Perry Maynard.
Perry Maynard, yeah, because we spent like 10 minutes trying to not say Perry Mason from the bloody...
Yeah.
It's the crime or whatever. It's such a good trick.
It's going on the review show soon, but it's such a good trick. It's such a good trick. Ryland's just filmed a performance of it as well for his Instagram.
You should give Perry Maynard a heads up because he's probably going to need to make a bunch more units because they're going to.
Well, that's what happens with Prop Dog. You know, Dave Bonsall always has a go at me because whenever I mention anything by Prop Dog, he gets like a ton of orders and he has to like scramble around to make them. And he's like, "Can you let me know next time you mention something from Prop Dog on your channel so I can be prepared for it."
What's the most annoying thing that he has to make?
Currently, I would say
Craig's salty balls.
Yeah, it's taken a long time for him to make those salty balls. He really is. It's a difficult thing to make.
So Rich said, Lloyd, drop me a line when you're free for a jam. Got a few ideas. Yes, I do need to get back to you, Rich. I'm aware there's a message in my inbox. My inbox is totally flooded, but I will get back to you. Review says, what is the new trick with the Powerball 60 principle? Is it? I'm guessing. Have you spoken about the new one that you're working on your channel? That you're not working on your channel? Fuck.
Good one, Lloyd.
That you're not working on.
I'm just texting somebody. There you go. I mean, obviously, the Powerball 60 principle is the binary principle.
Yes.
Which a lot of people have worked with. I mean, that's the basics of what Cognito is based on, the binary principle.
Yeah.
Although you've taken it to an entirely new level. And there's a few other things that work on the binary principle. Quite a few things. Neo Magic has got something out called Connected that works on the binary principle. Kyle Purnell has got something using a blank deck that works on the binary principle, which is really clever. I've got something that works on the binary principle that I'm doing with Murphy's, aren't I? At some point. At some point down the line, which is really cool.
Well, I'll tell everyone, as much as I love Cognito, and this is not to blow smoke up your ass either, Craig, but it's the most organic version of this binary principle. The effect that you've come up with is the most organic way of doing it with a physical thing that I've ever seen. So more organic to me than Powerball 60. In fact, absolutely more organic than Powerball 60 because I do carry these on me, and I think almost everyone, every single person, will at least have one of these in their hands at some point during the day, unless they don't leave their house. So it's super, super organic, super commercial, and then the little added touch of the multiple things.
We should get on with that. The problem is every time you and I talk, we end up coming up with other products and talking about other stuff. And
I'm waiting on the delivery
with credit cards and things. And
I think you were going to send me some of the prototypes. God, it's so hard to talk about it without giving it away.
Yeah, I'll send the prototypes over to you on Monday. I'll get the office to send them over.
Awesome. Okay, so we got Joshua Riley's asking, Craig, who's your number one magician / mentalist that you want to try and get onto your talk magic?
Dynamo. Simple. Dynamo.
I had a text off him earlier.
Oh, fuck off.
No, but I could know what I'm...
Lloyd. You dropped a name over there. Do you want to pick it up?
You fucking said the name, not me. Not me. No, what I was going to say is that I had a text from him earlier, and I could, if you want to get him on your channel, then I can ask him.
I'd love to. Because I've got so many new people on my channel, as well as more experienced magicians. I think that everybody will get a kick out of it being on there. And I don't think he's ever done an interview like a Talk Magic interview before. It's normally like...
Did you see his live show?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's so good, isn't it?
I like how he came. I like the method for the folding bottle.
Oh yeah, the method for the folding
bottle. Because he had to do folding bottle. He could. That was like the thing that everybody knew him for. And I was like, how the hell is he going to do this? And the method that they came up with was just spectacular.
Well, I think, and I don't know because of his contractual and obligations at NDA, but I think the person that created that method may be in the chat.
Oh wow!
Okay. Co-created that method. I believe there was 2 people.
Unbelievable! I was blown away. I literally, when I saw that, I stood up and it was like I was just like, that's just so good.
Yeah, well, I think the guy is in this chat. Oh, by the way, if anyone hasn't gone to oneahead.club, you should. Okay, so Dynamo's your dream guest to get on Talk Magic.
Dynamo's my dream guest. I've got a load of people that I want to...
Max Maven, Richard Austin, Rory Adams.
Yeah, Max Maven. I'm reaching out to Michael Amar at the moment because I think he'd be a good one. I've just had somebody off my bucket list I've just interviewed, which was John Armstrong. I mean, I love John Armstrong.
Yeah.
Tiny Plunger is just incredible. And he just went up on Saturday. And that was...
I'm actually halfway through it.
Yeah, really good interview. Really interesting interview.
I met John Armstrong at the Session Convention 2006 or 7. And by far he was the best magician there, I think. You know, well, there was a few others there, but technically skilled, the one that just knew, been there, done it, got the t-shirt type magician. And he won't even remember me. This is a long time ago. But he spent so much time, and I was really, really rubbish. And he spent so much time just sitting, literally an hour over the 2 or 3 days, an hour at a time, show me really advanced card stuff and do you know when you're not a magician, when you're not in it for very long, when you're a beginner in magic, you don't know how to talk magic, you don't know the terminologies, you just don't know how to talk shop properly.
Yeah.
You know, that scene in Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood, and he teaches the kid to talk to other men at the barber shop, and he shows him the ropes. It was kind of one of those experiences, sitting there with John Armstrong, just hearing him talk about magic. Because I was from Wales. There was no magic shops. I didn't know any magicians around me. I didn't even know how to discuss tricks. Because I hadn't Skype with anyone, and it was a very formational convention for me. It was very amazing, and John Armstrong's one of those people I'd be too nervous to talk to for sure. Yeah,
John's great. He's amazing. He was such a good guest. He really was.
I still use one of his little things. I don't know if it's his move, but he taught a version of the Biddle Trip, which destroyed me live. And he does one subtlety in it, which I've carried since then, and I use it in a bunch of different stuff. And it's really, really smart. I don't know if it's his, but he taught it and he performed it so well that I literally thought he was using gimmicks, and he wasn't.
Wow.
Very, very, very good. Okay, so we have some other questions coming into the chat. Yo, Craig, can Sell listen to Patrick Redford interview? Immediately bought the 2 books. Okay. Leo Bordeaux has awesome work on binary stuff. That's from Rich Relish. Dara066, what's your favourite impromptu card trick? So what's yours, and I'll tell everyone mine after you.
My favourite impromptu card trick. Well, so in other words, I've got no gimmicks on me. It's just a
Deck of cards.
I'd have to say card in the box.
Is it?
I love card in the box. I swear by card in the box.
I didn't think you'd say that.
It. Huh?
I didn't think you'd say that.
Card in the box. Or the other thing is, I published a trick many, many years ago in a DVD called Slim, and it was called Rocky's Triumph, and it's a stand-up handling of Triumph, which is my favourite Triumph, and it ends with, so they shuffle the cards.
Wait. Is there any way, because I've been looking for a stand-up Triumph, could you perform it?
If I can find a pack of cards.
I'll hold court if you can't. I'll wait till you find one.
I have my new Penguin Magic Retro Rockets that I've just got.
Oh, they look cool.
Sexy Penguin Magic Retro Rockets.
So my favourite deck of the year is a Penguin deck. I don't have one, so if Penguin are listening, it's the room. Is it 237 deck?
They're nice. Yeah.
The design is insane.
Talk amongst yourselves for a minute while I open this up and shuffle them.
Cool. Yeah. So Craig's going to do an in the hands Triumph, and I have a small amount of work on Triumph, and just while you're shuffling this, I try to. And sometimes this is futile, and sometimes this is overkill. But I always try to think about, when it comes to card routines, like classic plots, like what can I do to make the method, not the method, but what can I bring to it that's different. So I have a couple of things which in some ways I thought or could be unique, but I'm really struggling to bring any creativity to the stand-up Triumph routines, and I've been looking for one to perform stand-up for ages, and this is why I'm asking Craig so nicely to perform it, because I genuinely want to see what you do.
Yeah, sure. Just give me 1 second.
And then possibly use the routine.
I will send you a copy of Slim.
Why was it called Slim?
Because I just lost 10 stone and I was slim.
You lost.
And if you say what happened, I'll fucking kill you.
What happened?
Oh, God. Oh, dear me. Right, okay. I have the deck.
When people have been asking me why I've lost loads of weight, I've been saying to them, I'm very, very ill.
Yeah.
That's not right, but I'm so excited to see this.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
This is, I'm just trying to figure out where to put my microphone so it doesn't get in the way. If I put it there, that should be all right. And then if I move this to here and just move this down here. Does that work?
That's
Can you see?
Great, yes.
Is that okay? Okay. So Lloyd...
Oh shit, hang on, Craig. Dynamo's in the chat and he said, we'll do my best.
Well, where are all these people coming from? Like, nobody watching them yet. So far, you've had Richard Austin, fucking Max Maven, fucking Dynamo, Rory Adams. I get Bob from fucking West Bromwich come on my channel, and that's it.
Gee, the reason I haven't texted back, by the way, is because of this live stream. I've been setting it up, but I'll get back to you later.
Actually, he said he didn't care about you, and
okay, right. Dynamo said that he'll do his best. There we go.
So hang on.
I don't need to ask him for you. You can beg right now, live on air.
Please, Mr. Dynamo, do an interview on my channel. There you go. I don't really beg well. That's the best I've got. I've got a picture somewhere of me and Dynamo, me strangling Dynamo from behind. It was on the World Magic Shop stand.
I was going to say, is that a euphemism?
Well, it was when I was with David Penn and we were on the World Magic Shop stand, and Richard Osterland had just bought out the Dynamo deck. which was a new
that
deck.
wasn't a Dynamo deck though for him. Right?
And we had this video of Dynamo getting pissed off that Richard Osterland had used his name, and there was this video of me holding him back because he was trying to beat up Richard Osterland. It's somewhere
you need to dig that out. You need to
YouTube
dig that out on the channel.
Yeah, it's somewhere on the YouTube. So you just told me Dynamo's on the channel, and now I have to perform a card trick. Fucking great.
That you created when you were skinny.
Right, okay, let's do this. So, Lloyd, deck of cards.
Yeah.
You see them there? So, yeah, 52 cards, 52 possibilities. There you go, it's got to be done. A bit of a shuffle. You would shuffle these, and you would, normally when I do this, I give them the deck and I have them take anyone out that they want to, but can we just take one at random? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Because you're not here, obviously. So this is going to be the card.
Okay.
I can't see it, but hopefully you can. So the idea is really simple. The card gets put back into the deck about there. And the idea is I have to try and find the card. Now, most magicians, what they'll do is they will shuffle the cards, they will cut the cards. And once they've shuffled and cut, they will try and find the card that way. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go one step further. Somewhere in here is your card. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half the cards face up, half the cards face down. I'm going to shuffle the cards face up into face down. There's a technical term for this. It's called a mess, because if you think about it, we've got some cards face down. These cards are face down. We've got some cards face up. And as I push the cards together, you can see face up cards being shuffled into face down cards. Face up and face down. So as I cut the cards, you can see that there's cards back to face, there's cards face to back. And as I continue to cut, they continue to get more and more mixed up. Now, here's a question for you, Lloyd. If I asked you to sort these cards out so they're all facing the right way, how long do you reckon it'd take you?
60 seconds.
I'm going to sort them out in 1 second and find your card. It looks something like that. And then hopefully, with any luck, if I've done this right, you'll see that all the cards are facing the right way. But if I have done this right, hopefully there'll be one card face down. I want you to tell me if you see your card, because there is one card face down. All these cards face up, one card and one card only, face down in the deck. Now, if that was your card, that would be a pretty darn good trick. You would then hold your hand out. I'd put this into your hand, and I'd say, Lloyd, how many, for the first time, what was the name of your card?
7 of spades.
7 of spades, and you say, look at this, one card turned over in the deck, and that's
Nice.
the 7 of spades. And then you say, but think about this for a minute, because it stands to reason there's another 3 sevens in this deck somewhere, the deck that you shuffled, and you could have took any card you wanted to. If I told you I could take the deck with one hand, and I told you I could shuffle the deck with one hand, and I told you I could find the other 3 sevens with one hand, would that be good?
Very
But
good.
with this hand over here.
Oh, I didn't see that come in. I actually didn't see that come in.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it
you
ends up-
motherfucker. That was great.
So it ends up with a 4-of-a-kind production from a shuffled deck.
I did not see that come in.
So that's why it's my go-to opener, because it's a really quick visual moment of magic, but then I've got a 4-of-a-kind that can go into any 4-of-a-kind routine.
Thank you so much, dude.
I'll teach you if you want me to. That's what the Sunday session's all about.
Let's teach it. Let us know in the chat down below. Do you want to learn that right now?
It's my go-to triumph routine. I really enjoy it. There's some nice displays in there.
Yeah, some really convincing displays. I'm reading some of the chat just while we're here. Okay, so someone said super interesting. Wait, what? Super kicker. Soon Liltorp says a lot of trolling in this chat. I would have said that, but then I also just got another text, so I don't think they are trolling. Pete and JD said, "Hell yes, Jeff McBride, let's learn it." Okay, now
I'm sorry, Jeff McBride is not in this
there's
chat.
no way Jeff McBride's in this chat. Okay,
No,
so there
because
is a
Jeff
lot of
McBride is
trolls
in
coming
this
in.
chat.
Unless it is Jeff McBride, then do you know Jeff McBride?
Jeff McBride and I haven't spoken since the whole Wayne Dobson Wizard product review thing.
I don't
for
know what
many
that is.
years. Oh, you don't know what that is? That's
Oh,
one
I remember
reason.
something about that actually. Is that why you got in another time you got in hot water?
That was when I got. Now, me and Wayne are now tight. Me and Wayne are like really, really cool now. And I know Wayne's got a wicked sense of humour. But way back in the day, me and Dave got into real big trouble. We stopped the Wizard Product Review for 4 weeks. For 4 weeks, we stopped the Wizard Product Review.
Oh, wow.
Because, like everybody hated us because of Dave got accused of bullying Wayne Dobson, and it was just this whole thing. And me and Wayne are fine now. But back in the day, it was not a good situation for a long time, and me and Jeff still haven't spoken about that. And I remember Dave getting into more and more hot water, and I said, I know how to. Wayne's got a really good sense of humour. I know. I'll go out and I'll make an apology, and I'll do it in a really funny way that Wayne will find hilarious, and it made it even worse. So I remember going out and I said, I'd like to apologise for anything that's happened to upset Wayne. I know Wayne doesn't stand for bullying or anything else, and it was not a good thing to say, even though it was meant in jest. So for a long time, me and Jeff weren't good, and me and Wayne are fine now. I love Wayne to bits, but I still haven't spoken to Jeff McBride since it. So.
Oh well, maybe he is in the chat, and he loves.
I don't think he is. I'm pretty damn sure.
I'm going to err on the side of caution and say yes, it fucking is. All right, a lot of people want to learn this Triumph. Let's do it.
All right, cool, no problem. So it's a regular shuffle deck of cards in use. No gimmicks, no extras. And all you're going to do, it's a bit awkward doing it on screen, but what you're going to do is you're going to have a card picked. It's really important with this trick that you get the cards shuffled beforehand. You don't want them to think it's in any particular order. So you want to make sure it's a deck of 52 cards, because what you don't want to do is go for the kicker and there's only 3 cards in there that are like, there's only 3 sevens or something. So a deck of 52 cards, have them shuffled. I spread through the cards so they can see the faces and have them to pick one. You're going to have the card returned, and you need to control it second from top. Now, what I did there is I just did a double undercut. What I like to do when I'm actually doing this in a real gigging situation is a bluff shift. So I'll just riffle down, I'll have them say stop, I'll riffle slowly so they stop about 10 cards down, I'll tilt everything forward, and I'm only taking 1 card off. So I'm just taking 1 card, they put their card back there, I replace the 1 card, and then just pick up half the deck and dribble down. Doesn't really matter how you want to do it, but you want to control the cards second from top. So in this case, 9 of diamonds, second from top. Now, all you're going to do is, as you say, hey, a lot of magicians shuffle the cards, cut the cards, and they try and find your card. You're just going to do a browy reversal of the top 2 cards, remembering that the second card is the selected card. So you do a browy reversal. So the card's second from top, get a break under 2 cards, undercut half the cards, turn them face up, put them on top, undercut the rest of the cards, put them on top. And then you can just spread through at that point. So now, because you need to know what the card is, and that allows you to get the card relatively easy, because now if you do an all-round square up, the card at the bottom that you'll see when you do the all-round square up will be the selected card, 9 of diamonds in my case. Now all you're going to do, you're going to go into the shuffle sequence. So you're going to get a break with your thumb above the bottom card, which is the selected card. And you're going to kick cut half the cards into your left hand. And then all you're going to do is you're going to kiss the packets together, dropping that selection onto this packet face up. Then you're going to do a 10-kite optical reverse, turning and turning. And now you're going to re-grip so you can do a faro shuffle. And all you're going to do is the face-up packet is going to get shuffled into the face-down packet like that. And you want to make sure that there's a couple of face-up cards that end up on top. So if I spread through, you'll see we've got a whole bunch of... It looks like the cards are being shuffled face-up into face-down. In reality, they're all face-down other than 2 face-up cards, one of which is the selection. Now, when you're in that situation, all you're going to do is you've got this really nice display where you just riffle the front edge of the packet and you can show that the cards are face down, then turn everything end for end and flick the face up packet, and again it really does look like there's face up cards being shuffled into face down cards. And then when I push the cards together, I like to do it at an angle like this so that they can see apparently face up and face down cards being shuffled together. That's a really nice display. So all you're going to do now, and position check, all the cards are face up, 2 face down cards. This one here is the selected card. So all you're going to do now is you're going to cut and show face down, cards face down, cards are face up. Now, all I have to do is kill this card, turn this card face down, and position that in the middle. And we're going to do that in one move by doing a brow reversal. So we're just going to get a break underneath the top card with the thumb, do another brow reversal. And when you do that brow reversal, you're done. You'll find that all the cards are face up, and there's one card face down in the middle, which is the selected card. Now, this is where you're going to get set up for the second kicker. So you hold the cards face up, and you say, how long do you reckon it'll take me to find your card? And they say, you snap your fingers. And now all you're going to do, remember, you know what this card is because you glimpsed it earlier on, so it's a 9 of diamonds. So all you're going to do now is you're going to spread through. This is the best way to learn a cull, because they're focusing on looking for their card. And if you don't get the cull, it's not a problem because they're not expecting anything after this anyway. But you're going to spread through, and every time you see a 9, you're just going to cull it to the back of the deck. So you say, look, all of these cards are face up, and there's one card face down. You say, tell me if you see your card. So I've culled 1 9. When you get to the face down card, you upjog it. I'm now culling the second 9. And then as I spread through, I've got the third 9, I'm culling that. So now you've got the 3 9s at the back of the deck. So all you're going to do now is spin this out, put it onto their hand, turn the deck over, and you're going to get a break underneath the top 3 cards. Everyone's attention's there, and you say, what was the name of your card? And they say 9 of diamonds. And then you turn that card over and you show, there you go, the 9 of diamonds. They think the trick's over at that point. You turn the card face down and put it on top of the deck and immediately pick up everything above the break in a brittle grip. And you want to focus attention on the deck over here. So you could do a one-handed cut. You could do a just a riffle with your thumb. I like to do a one-handed shuffle just because I can. So, and the presentation here is, look, there stands to reason there's another 3 9s in the deck. If I told you I could cut the deck with one hand, shuffle the deck with one hand, and with one hand find the other 3 9s, would that be good? And they say yes, and then you just literally, you're holding, they think there's one card here, and the line is yes, but with this hand over here. And you just snap them into like a one-handed fan at this point. And it's a real killer ending that they don't see coming. And you're left with these 4 9s, and so now you can go into any 4 of a kind routine that you want to do, and it's a great way to produce a 4 of a kind without actually needing a preset. It's a regular shuffle deck of cards in use, anytime, anywhere.
Wow. Holy Toledos. Dude, thank you so much for doing that.
It's all right. It's a good trick.
Wow.
I like it.
Wow. That's really good. I feel like I need to try it on you.
Yeah, you reckon you could?
Shall I have a go?
Try it.
All right. So let me turn this camera off. I was practicing along with you. So cards. Okay. So I'm genuinely not going to look at the card, right?
Okay.
So tell me where to stop and take it out.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this card, can you see it?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to do my own control. Not my own control. I'm going to control it in a different way. So the card gets lost into the deck.
Yep. That's fine.
So here. Yeah.
Yep.
And now I need to do a browy reversal.
Yep.
That was a flash, but you get it.
All round square up.
All around square ups, I know. Oh, right, yeah, because you don't need to ask for their card. Now I'm going to do this.
Yep.
And I forgot to look at the card. Okay, no, I didn't. So that goes in here, right?
Yep.
And I can show...
Yeah, just don't show the very bottom one, but you can show like from about 2 cards up. Yeah.
all these.
That's it. Then turn end friend. It's a really nice illusion of seeing face up and face down
Is
cards.
it from Unshuffling
And
Rebecca by Paul Harris or something?
Yeah. And push them in at an angle.
At an angle, so you can see they are getting mixed. Yeah.
Yep.
Like this. Now I have to kill this card, right? So
No, you need to turn the deck over first.
Okay.
That's it.
And kill this card.
Yep.
And I can do that again by...
Because it looks like you're just cutting face up and
That's
face down.
such a nice moment here.
It's great, isn't it?
Such a nice convincing moment. Okay, so that goes in. And I'll say, so tell me if you see your card. And then da-da-da. Oh, all the cards have righted themselves actually, apart from the one, yeah. Boom.
Yep.
Comes out like this, da-da-da, all that. For the first time, go ahead, name your card.
King of diamonds.
Boom. Your card's the only card in the deck. Now, take the deck. I'm going to try and find the other kings with one hand.
That's it. Nailed it.
Oh, dude, I really love that.
Thanks, man.
I really like that. That's great. Thank you so much, dude.
No problem.
Wow. I love that. I'll tell you... Oh, by the way, everyone, give it up for Craig. Say thank you to Craig for teaching us that triumph. I think it was so good.
You're more than welcome. Really fun triumph.
So, I'll tell you my favourite story about performing triumph, which is... I had a friend come over and he was asking me about card stunts. So he's not a magician, but he was over the house. We were having a couple of beers years ago. You know, card flicks up in the air and catching them.
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah.
And I think he'd seen someone like Ricky Smith Jr. Somewhere like on Discovery Channel, and he was asking about it, like, is it all real and blah 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 blah. And anyway, so I was showing him, and I'm not very good. I can't flick cards in the air very well. I'm just terrible at it. So I was trying to show him how to shoot a card in the air and then catch it. Like in between, and I just dropped the cards all over the floor, and they were genuinely mixed up. So I picked them up, and we were laughing, and then just casually chatting. And as I went through, I used the Kosti Kimlat Roadrunner cull to separate the face up and face down. But it wasn't a thing. We weren't like doing a trick. We were chatting, and then I just put them back, like just as you normally would as a magician. I just separated them all, but under the cover of a cull, and then placed the deck back down on the table, and then. You look how self-tying shoelace is the best trick ever, because if some people has to ask you to do it, sort of thing. Well, we were just sitting there, carrying on with the drinks, and then he was like, "Dude, by the way, have you ever done that? Like when you're showing tricks to people?" And I was like, "Oh, it's happened." And he's like, "Fuck, what do you do?" I was like, "Oh man, I just use," and I was like, "This is my moment." I was like, "Oh, I just use magic to like make them all go back," and he was like, "Huh?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, if I could give it a moment and just pause." Okay, now they'll go back all the right way. And he was like, fuck off. I was like, yeah, I'm going to carry on drinking. And I'm quite happy to let people wait or not see the magic. Like you've seen in the, if you watch the wife test video on my channel, I was like, I'm going to pay you £100 to not look at the card because it builds up this drama. So he was like, oh, and we were laughing, and I just didn't force it on him. And I just knew that he was the what's it called? Like, the curiosity was going to get the better of him. And he was like, and the fucking colour just went from his face. It was just, I'll never forget it, one of my all-time favourite ever live performances. But it's not a worker. You can't do that at every gig. It was just, the stars aligned. I fucking dropped the cards. He asked the right questions without caring about what I was doing. And it all just came together, and it was. But do you ever have those performances where you'll never forget them for all the right reasons?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? It was one of those moments. But thank you for teaching that. I'm going to go back and watch that a few times, and get that down. That is that one moment with a second brow reversal in the center, and
it's still see face down cards in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. By the way, if anyone's watching and you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please go ahead and do so, because we talk a lot of magic on this channel. There's a lot of tutorials you can see in my tutorial playlist. We would run over things like this, and even last week Craig taught his first ever YouTube tutorial. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so already, guys, and make sure you're still tuned in. So let's go back to the comments from people in the chat. I don't think it maybe was Max Maven and those guys, because somebody said that they changed their username. So maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. It's the best kind of mystery where we're pretty certain it wasn't, but we'll pretend it was.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
Chris James says the best inner hands triumph is Danny Daughter's Open Triumph. Dude, have you seen Danny Daughter's Open Triumph?
Yeah, it's great.
It's great. It's the same thing for me as Double Exposure, that it's too much risk for me. Like, a lot of people find Double Exposure easy. For some reason, my hands just don't get that trick to work. Same as Danny's Open Triumph. It doesn't work for me. And that's why I'm still looking for it. But Danny's one. But do you remember the first time seeing Danny Daughter's Open Triumph?
Yes.
It was one of the very, very, very rare occasions. Like, because it's fairly recent release. I mean, like, it's probably 7 years old, but that's recent to us. But it was like, I was genuinely like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah.
Because it was saying it was ungimmicked, and I had to read 100 times it was impromptu. I was like, there's no way. No way. But yeah, if anyone hasn't seen that, check it out. Show us. Okay, I'm going back. So I'm just trying to run through quickly. Alex Bow says, hey guys, Pete and JD says, I am Peter Turner and Joshua J. Zach Garza said, Tamara is turned into Dynamo, turned into Jeff. It's magic. Well, I think it might have been D because he was texting me as that was going on, so I don't know. Is Blackpool still going ahead? Alex Bow asks.
As far as we're aware, I mean, you never know. You never know. All we can say is that the Blackpool Magic Convention are progressing as if it's going ahead.
Right, okay.
So we can only assume it's going ahead unless we hear otherwise. I mean...
At this stage, it's very late to cancel now, I think.
The bottom line is no restrictions have been put in place, and I really don't think any new restrictions are going to be put in place either.
Yeah.
You know, there's lots of big events that are taking place all the time.
Yeah, I can't imagine it. The way that the English government are talking about it doesn't seem like they're
because you've got more restrictions than us in Wales, haven't you?
I think so, but I'm not affected by them in any way, shape, or form because I just wake up, I take my dogs for a walk, and then I run down the beach, and then I have a coffee in my house, and then chat to you most of the day. So I don't know if pubs are closed or open. I don't drink anymore. No, wait, somebody called Magician Anonymous asked, "Hi, Lloyd and Craig," and I missed this earlier because it was earlier. I'm starting a new magic-related channel where I'll be performing uncut performances and also unboxing mystery decks and mystery magic boxes. I'm also planning to give decks and tricks away that I have more than one of. Question: do you think it's best to do a giveaway every time I reach a subscriber goal and select a subscriber to win, or would it be best to use something like Gleam to select a winner?
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I've never done giveaways on my channel. We do giveaways on the podcast every week, but I've never done giveaways on my channel. It's just not something that I've ever bothered to do, to be honest. I don't think it makes a massive world of difference to growing a YouTube channel, whether you give stuff away or not.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, if people want to watch your content, they're going to watch your content regardless of what you do or don't give away. I think that the key thing, if you're wanting to grow a channel, if you're asking my opinion as to, you know, should you, I wouldn't bother. I would put all of your focus and attention into providing the type of quality content that people want to watch on a regular basis, and make sure that that content is consistent. Make sure that there's 5 C's to growing a YouTube channel. You've got content, make sure it's engaging and make sure it's correct for the niche that you're operating in. Make sure that you're charismatic and you're easy to listen to.
Make sure your first name is Craig.
Yeah, right. Make sure that it's consistent. And that's so vitally important. The consistency of a YouTube channel is important. Make sure there's a call to action. Like, what's your call to action on your YouTube channel? What are you wanting people to achieve? Stick that up in the description. Let people know about it. What's
like
your
this. Subscribe.
There you go. Subscribe down below. Haven't you got a little graphic that you can whiz onto the screen at this point?
It is there, yeah. You're not looking at the live feed, are you?
No, I'm looking at you on Skype. Right.
No, my kid clawed my mouth the other day, and now I look like. Anyway, yes, Karen, please. I'm sorry. I'm loving this.
Yeah. So you know, have a call to action, and that's it really. Just but I wouldn't competitions. I wouldn't really bother with. At least initially, build yourself a viewing audience up first. Get people who are rabid fans that want to listen to everything that you say. Get them on board. Get them wanting to hear everything, and then at some point do competitions. But
I have a question. Because I want to know the answer for my channel, which is, how do you come up with so many different episode types? Like doing, not just like doing the things for Quiver, but you have like so many interesting and the shows that you post. They're always, when I see them, I'm like, oh, I really do want to watch this. They're always interesting and relevant. But there's so much diversity on your channel. Like, how the fuck do you...
It's mainly listening to the people that comment. I mean, I'm lucky that I've built it up to a point now where I get lots and lots of comments.
Yeah.
And of course, I do a Q&A on a Sunday. I have lots of people asking questions. So, for example, the video I've got up this Thursday are the 15 best magic wallets of all time. And I count down the 15 best magic wallets that have ever been created. that came about because somebody said, "Hey, Craig, what's your opinion on the best magic wallets of all time?" Well, that sounds like an interesting idea. I'll do a video about that. You know, and so a lot of the time it's about listening to your subscribers, and you know, just making sure that you're doing what they want to see, and also monitoring the analytics and looking at, okay, well, you know, I'll put that video up and nobody seems to be interested in that, so obviously that's not worked. Right, okay, so I'll do that. I used to do a marketing on Monday, where every Monday it was marketing, and it turns out that magicians fucking hate marketing because like nobody watched the videos. So I changed it to the 5x5s.
In fairness, you did say that to me, I think, about because I was doing the Theory Thursdays. I was talking to Rory Adams about it as well, and they had good engagement. So like more comments on my Theory Thursdays than most other videos, but the least amount of views consistently, like the least. So I changed it up to the wife test now because when I put a video up of me performing magic to Kaylee, it got way more views. Like way more people were interested overall.
And part of the thing is just making it interesting and you know, just trying to think what people want to hear and people want to see. A lot of the stuff I do on my channel is reviews, but it's not just reviews. It's also obviously interviews, and it's like talking about theory and stuff. And listen to what people say. You know, I put a video up recently on how to approach a group, and that's because so many people ask me how to approach a group. The quiver video was put together because people kept saying to me, have you got any ideas with a quiver? I'm like, okay, well, let's put a video together about it. I'm just in the middle of putting a WoW video together, you know, like 13 routines with a WoW. And that's the same reason people are asking me.
I said WoW, but I didn't mean to say that. I should show you some of the stuff I've got for WoW. Because I worked with Masuda to create WoW Money.
WoW Money, yeah.
And there's so much stuff that I've never shown anyone that with it would have to be new versions of WoW, but I think you'd get a kick out of it one day. I'll just run you through some of the stuff that I did. Really
I'd love to see that.
Super visual. But yeah, so you would basically listen to the questions. I've had a few questions, and I think I need to like start filming the videos to those questions. So maybe I'll follow your lead. But in answer to Magician Anonymous, then don't do a giveaway. Just make good content. Interesting.
Yeah, you know Angle Z, where the corner's already torn off the card.
Yeah.
And is then put somewhere, anywhere. Have I ever shown you that thing I do with WoW with Angle Z?
No.
So basically, you have it's basically just like Angle Z in that you take the torn corner that's pre-torn off and you put it anywhere you want to put it. I typically load it underneath the spectator's watch. And then what I do is I force the card with the torn corner off, and I show it. And obviously, I'm hiding the fact that it's got a torn corner, and it's obviously forced, so it's the same as the WoW gimmick. I put it inside the WoW, and I engage the WoW at the same time. So when they look at it, it doesn't look like the corner's torn off.
Oh.
So they see the card, and you put it in there, and it looks like the card is holding there. And I say, watch. And as I shake, the corner just disappears. And they take it out, and the corner's gone. And I go, look under your watch, and it's under your watch.
Jeebus. Jesus, that's good.
Right?
Holy
that's the sort of thing that I do with the WoW.
Shit, that's really cool.
So it's about making Angle Z a little bit more visual by delaying the moment that the corner, so you're not actually tearing a corner off and making it disappear. You're taking the card, you're putting it into a plastic sleeve so you can't manipulate it. They see it's a full card, and then boom, the corner just vanishes.
I actually posted the reverse of that on my Instagram, where I have a torn and restored card with WoW. It's one of the things I did share. Let me see if I can pull it up. So 2016, maybe. I know all the stuff that I post because I live in different houses like every single year. Literally.
Yeah, but you're sticking in the one you're in now, aren't you?
I think so. Yeah, I'm good here. Oh no, actually, I'm considering buying another house, but we'll see.
You should buy a caravan in Treco Bay.
I want to move up to you.
There's not many sheep.
Nate Cranzo just sent me a voice note on a messenger, and I just messaged him, can I listen to this on air, because I don't know what the fuck he's gonna say. Alright, let me
Nate's
see.
a great guy.
Oh, I love Nate, man. Alright, so this, I'm gonna hold it up so that people can see it through my DSLR, but you may not see it. There. You see, is that overblown? Yeah, it's too bright, right? Can you see that? Does that work? Maybe I'll put the link in the description. I'll put the link in the comments. Yeah, I'm not letting you guys watch it like that. That's terrible. So I'll post it. I'll post it in the comments if anyone else is interested at all. But it's kind of like the same thing. It's in reverse though, just using the WoW gimmick. Magician's Anonymous replied saying, "Thanks, just want to give stuff away as I have extra and others who struggle to purchase effects could benefit. Main purpose for channel is to do uncut performances. Too many dishonest trailers." I love that. Okay, we have a bunch of chat now. I'm going to go through it and try and... That was such an in-depth answer, by the way. That was so good. So, I love the surprise factor. Thanks, Craig. That was from Zach Garza. That's back to your triumph. Dexter Cos. Hi, guys. Question about coin magic. Can you show us a proper hand-washing technique? This was for you because I personally fucking hate hand-washing.
I'm not really a big fan of it. What I tend to find is you want to make it last for about 20 seconds. Singing happy birthday helps.
Yeah. Yeah. That's gotta be one of the most fucking on topic and coin magic jokes of all time. That's amazing.
Although I do struggle to last longer than 20 seconds, just ask my wife. Right, okay. So I don't really do hand washing because I just think it looks fucking stupid, frankly. The closest I come to hand washing is if I want to get a coin from classic palm in my right hand to finger palm in my left hand, which can happen quite a lot. And literally, I just do that. That is all I do. That is the extent of hand washing. You know, you see Michael Lamar doing this sort of stuff, and it's like, look, I just think it looks stupid. It's like my hands are empty. My hands are.
Wait, I love that you've just said that your dream guest is Michael Lamar, and then you immediately after called his hand washing technique stupid.
It is stupid. It's like if you're going to show your hands empty, why caress yourself? Why not just show your hands empty? It's like, oh, I'm performing coin magic. Hang on. Oh, that's good. Oh, God, that's amazing. Right, where was I? Yes, I've got a coin. So the closest I get to it, as I say, is I've got a coin in classic palm. I drop it into left-hand finger palm. I rotate my hand palm up, and I just kind of pull my fingers back. And the only time I do that is if I want to transfer a coin from classic palm in my right hand to finger palm in my left hand. Outside of that, if you want any more advice, I would go to Michael Lamar. I seem to remember from learning it back in the day before I realised it was stupid, was like tracing down your left hand like this. And when the fingers touch you, you come here and you trace down there, you're covering the coin, and then you come back up again or something like that. I don't know. If I were you, I'd spend more time learning something that would be way more useful than hand washing, because it's really a technique that has not aged well in sleight of hand, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the more important thing about convincing your audience that the coins are not there is to either not have them there or in how your attitude is. You know what I mean? Like if you read the 5 Points of Magic by Tamariz, you'll talk about relaxation and beats and moments and how to use that to your advantage as a magician. And if your hand is empty and you feel it's empty and your attitude and the way you handle yourself just tells people that it's empty. It's so strange to say this without like being more descriptive on it, but then you won't need to overprove it. And if you choose a routine that needs hand washing, then I think you should potentially, and not to say like, you know, don't do it, but there's got to be better routines out there. I think, you know,
yeah,
I'm really against hand washing. I think there's so much more you can do to be convincing than using hand washing.
Agree.
That's why I never ever do it. But yeah, I think so. I think we're kind of on the same page there. Somebody asked what was the control that I used. It's not mine. It's Troy Houssier's Slipstream control. Using it's the Slipstream control exactly. There's a version I can show it, but I won't teach it because it's not mine to teach. But it looks like I'm kind of at the wrong angle here. But if let's go through. So if this was the card, the 2, it would go into the deck. I don't know if am I out of shot here or not? Is it there? Can you see? And under the guise of that, it would come second from the top. So I'll do that like again, just so you can watch. And we get this better. So I actually, this is the control I use every single time I perform. So it looks like this, like the card's just lost somewhere in there. And yeah, it's second top. Now, I've seen Ben Earl on his past midnight, I think it's past midnight DVDs, or with his videos back then. He has an amazing version where this may screw up on camera, but is that the 10 of spades you can see? So the 10 gets lost into the deck somewhere like halfway down-ish, and under that motion it comes straight to the top, and there's no double. So it's called the Troy Hoosier Slipstream Control, and then the Benjamin Earl handling is to get it directly to the top. It's not mine to teach, but it's the most. I think it's the most organic control ever created.
It's very nice.
That the three controls that I use every day is the Sadowitz control. Have you seen that? So you have a card here. It goes down like halfway and it's back on top. And I used Emran Rietz's Shinobi control. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I hope I don't butcher this, but you take a card, so King of Hearts, and leave it out jogged, so it's like about halfway, and then it's on top.
That's lovely.
It was a Theory 11 release, and then I believe he published his own DVD on it with like Tony Chang adding like touches and stuff. But yeah, those I don't think I do really any other controls but those. And the Premier control, I use that a lot, which I released. It's like a handle of Steve drawn circle control, but it's like I can't see if that's the Queen or the King, but it goes like halfway down and it's on top.
Nice.
That one I can teach if anyone wants to learn it, but no one wants to learn my shit. Okay. What's your most used control, by the way?
Me?
Yes.
Gary Jones Top Con control.
What's that? Oh wait, Top Con is very familiar sounding.
So it's basically you show the card. So let's say it's that one there.
Yeah.
You leave it sticking out, and you go. Actually, let me just put it a little bit further down in the pack.
Yeah, that's good.
And then it's like a reverse convincing control.
Yeah.
But you're not actually needing to cull the card. There's no culling in it, which is quite nice.
I do something kind of like that, but I don't use it very often, which is like, so I spread through, they say stop, so let's say that's an awful card. That's the Ace of Hearts. I don't know if you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just place it in the deck there and down, and then it's on top.
That's nice.
So it's I could be wrong, but I come up with this idea independently, so I don't know if it is out there. But what I do is just I make sure I got two cards over. So then as I come down, I just line up this top card onto that pack there. But it looks like you're taking the top card, you're taking the last card, right? So it's just there. Place it in and then continue with the rest of the control. But
a lot of the time, if I'm doing walk around and I just want to get it controlled quickly, I'll spread the cards out. I'll have them take a card, and I'll literally simply do a one-handed palm, extend the hand, have them put the card on top of the deck, just come and riffle and go. Look, we'll just put it a bit further down. I
seen you using that in your finale. No, yeah, in your finale effect in your stage routine.
Yeah, it's
right.
That's
the thing you do, isn't it?
Yeah. The over the head thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the easiest control to do when you're on the fly, because you just literally do one-handed palm. They put the card on top, and you just go, brilliant. Let's just leave it down in the middle. It's very casual in its nature.
Yeah, I use it's called a cap in the deck, isn't it? That move. I think something like that. Harry Lorraine talks about it. I don't know. Okay, let's
you ever
go.
seen that David Acker control? It's just stupid. It shouldn't work, but it does.
I think I know what you're going to show, because I think I've seen this on one of his VHSs.
Oh, yeah.
Is it on a VHS of his? Yeah, go on.
It's the one where you bevel the deck face up and you say, Lloyd, just say stop.
Stop.
Right there, that one right there. Watch, I'm going to leave it down in the middle.
Yeah.
And it's controlled to the bottom.
Oh, God, that's so good. Have you ever seen that Tyler Wilson control? I think it's called like Monkey in the Middle.
Oh, yeah.
See, oh, God, please say I won't butcher it, but it's like you have the deck like this, right? God, this is so... Is it called Tokyo or Monkey in the Middle or something?
I don't think it's Monkey in the Middle, but I know the one you mean.
I know there's a Monkey in the Middle routine, but I think this controls like... So you do this, right? You place the 5 of hearts about halfway down. Oops, leave it sticking out there. Like that. And then it's on top.
That's cool.
So good. It's such a good control. I think it is called like Monkey in the Middle from his Dominatrix book.
Great book.
It's got that card warp with a crazy piece in the middle. Okay, so let's go back to some questions. I just want to check low down here. Okay, we've got a bunch of questions still yet to answer. Let me go back up to where I was. Okay, the big question remains, who's my favourite Ninja Turtle? And then Michael Patson says Michelangelo, of course. He's wrong. It's Leonardo, and he'll always be Leonardo. Punk BMX, any tips for getting confidence to actually perform? I consider myself a hobbyist, but apart from a few drunken occasions, never have the confidence to perform magic. I am so I'm so with this guy. Like I do not have the confidence that you do to perform for various reasons, you know. But I need to know your thoughts on. You are just a beast at performing to strangers.
I suppose the key is that there's a few different things. First of all, you wanna if you're struggling to perform anything, pick one trick. Just pick one trick. The problem is a lot of the time magicians overwhelm themselves and they learn trick after trick after trick after trick after trick. Pick one trick that you really like and get it to a point that you know every single aspect of it, inside out, back to front and upside down. And look through the trick and think about everything. Because a lot of the time people are nervous because they worry about what's going to happen if the trick goes wrong. Oh, what am I going to do if the trick goes wrong? So look at the trick and think about every single aspect that can possibly go wrong. Write it down and then come up with a solution. Because when people are stressed, they tend to make bad decisions. And that tends to be where everything just goes tits up. If you already have the solution to the problem beforehand, you're not going to be stressed. You're not going to make bad decisions because you already know what the solution to it is. So, for example, with an ambitious card, you kind of dissect everything. So you go, okay, what's going to happen? Well, first of all, I'm going to take the cards out of the box and shuffle them. Well, what can go wrong there? I'm going to drop the cards on the floor. Okay, what happens if I drop the cards on the floor? I'm going to have a backup deck and I'm going to make a joke of it. Okay, brilliant. So then what happens? I have the card picked. Brilliant. Is it a forced card? No. So there's nothing that can go wrong there. Then what happens if the card, I'm going to get the card signed. Right. Is there anything go wrong there? What happens if I haven't got a Sharpie? Okay, boom. Make sure I've got a Sharpie with me. Then I do the control. Okay, what happens if the control goes wrong? And I go, so you literally go through every single aspect of the routine and you think about what happens, what could go wrong, and you come up with a solution for it. And you get that trick inside out, back to front, upside down, and you script it. Because a lot of the time people are stressed because they don't know what to say and it makes them nervous. So script it so you know exactly what you're going to say and think about everything that can go wrong. And then just put yourself into a very low pressure situation. First of all, perform to a friend that you can trust and just say, hey, I want to show you this. I've been working on it. Please, can I show it to you? Then when you've performed it to a friend, maybe perform it to a family member, then a couple of friends. And before you know it, you'll be able to perform that trick to a whole bunch of people. But also, and this is the most important thing, and I know this is something that Lloyd hates, be yourself. Don't create a persona for yourself when you start performing. I hate it when I see somebody go into magic mode. It's just like they're sitting around, they're Jack the Lad or whatever they are, and then the second they start performing, it's like, okay, ladies and gentlemen, roll up for the trick of the century. Be yourself. However you script this trick, script the trick and present it very informally, as if you were just talking to them, but you were doing a magic trick. Those are the biggest piece of advice I can give you. Script it, think about everything that can go wrong and fix it, and be yourself and start small and work your way big.
How do you approach a group of people?
How do I approach a group of people?
What do you say, literally, what do you say?
Well, when I approach, I've got lots of different ways that I do. These days, I tend to go up and I go, hey, guys, I walk up and I go, hey, I've heard this is the fun group, is that right? And now that one opening line is amazing because they're always going to go, yeah or no, we're not the fun group. Either way, it's kind of a funny icebreaker. And one of the things about approaching a group of people is getting them on your side straight away, because you've got a bunch of people there who don't know who you are, and you've got to interrupt their conversation and get them to listen to you. So you want to say something that kind of sets the tone immediately. So as I say, I walk up and I go, hey, I've heard this is the fun group, is that right? Oh, and whatever they say, I go, amazing. So my name's Craig. I'm not as dodgy as I look. Now, that works really well for me because I look dodgy as fuck. Shaved head, tattoos, dodgy-looking bloke. I go, hey, my name's Craig. I'm not as dodgy as I look. I've just been invited by, and I say the client. If it's a corporate gig, I say the client. If it's a wedding, I say the bride and groom. If it's a 50th birthday party like I had yesterday, I'll say the lady who's getting, whose birthday it is. I say, hey, I've been invited by Sandra to come along and do magic for all of her guests. You, sir, you look very excited about this. Now, that does a few things. First of all, if I say I've been invited by the client, it's the same client that's invited them. Now, they find it very difficult to say no to me because they now realise I've been paid to come along and perform for them, and they've been invited to this party. It's very difficult for them to say no. And by finishing off and going, you look very excited about this, I pick the person who looks the most grumpiest in the group. And with a twinkle in my eye, I just go, you look very excited about this, don't you, sir? You're bringing the fun and excitement to this event, and I really appreciate that. And I say in a really funny way, everybody laughs because I've normally nailed the guy that's grumpy, and everyone knows that's the grumpy guy. And now, within 10 seconds, I've got them laughing, I've got them on side, and now I can go into the tricks. And the whole thing is, hey, guys, I've heard this is the fun group, is that right? Amazing. Well, I'm not as dodgy as I look. My name's Craig. I've been invited along by Lloyd to come along and perform magic for you all today. You, sir, you look very excited about this. Please contain your enthusiasm, okay? If you can, it's a family show. Thank you very much. Anyway, should we do a quick trick? What would you like to see? And then I go into it.
That's really, really. I've seen you use that like those techniques in the real world, and they do work perfectly. Like you get such like you did it in Smoke and Mirrors in Bristol, Mark Bennett's bar, which is the best magic bar in the UK.
Yeah.
So good. One thing that I'll say about performing for strangers, because I've done it. I don't do gigs, so I don't approach people. But is that I think for me that helps. That I've always been like this, but I'll talk to anyone. But I never used to. But I'll say hi to everyone that I can. And so one tip I'll say about talking is if you are anxious, make a point of just saying hello to someone. If you're in a lift, then make conversation. And it means you don't have to show them a magic trick or get really outside your comfort zone, but just start talking to normal people in your day-to-day life where you normally wouldn't and get more comfortable interacting. And then one thing that I do is that if I do want to test out on a stranger, this is a thing I learned from Greg Wilson, and there's a lot of I have a lot of thinking on it, but he will, if he's talking to someone and he'll say to them, what do you do for a living? And they'll go like, oh, I'm a banker. He go, oh, that's awesome. And
yeah.
They have to ask you, what do you do? And you say, oh, I'm a magician. And then he says the next question, and it's true, the next question is, oh my God, can you show me a trick? Well, now suddenly you're not asking a stranger, can you show them a trick? They're asking you, can you show them a trick? Do you know what I mean? There's a difference between you saying, can I show you magic, to somebody asking, can they show you magic? Can you show them magic? And suddenly, it's what I think about it is that I just don't get heckled anymore because I don't approach people to show them tricks. I always get it to the point where they're asking me, they're interested in what I do, and then they say, oh please, and I tell them, no, I don't know. I get to the point where they're chomping at the bit for me to show them magic. And who the fuck heckles someone that's doing you a favour? You know what I mean? I mean, I've got the luxury of not gigging, but I don't get heckled because by the time I do show them the trick, it's like they are the ones that are asking me. So
see, I like being heckled.
Yeah, you're just gonna chew them up and spit them right back out. Okay, that was a great question. That was from Punk BMX. Alex Bow says, if I get to Blackpool, I'd love to meet you both. I've learned so much from you both. I'm new to magic. I started after being injured in the military. I just need to find tickets now. Great. Yes, man. It'd be so cool to meet you. Love to hang out with you at Blackpool. Craig Phil
Yeah, I mean,
says,
the problem is Lloyd is a bit of a prima donna. You can get half an hour of his time for £100, but you will also get a signed autograph of his pet sheep. So, there's that.
Craig Philsetti, I think that might be Craig, but like everyone said in the chat that like Max Maven and Richard Ostlin weren't the real ones. But Craig says followers are nothing, engagement is everything. Whether or not that is the real Craig Philsetti, wow, like what a god of creativity and the best products in all of the Magic world, the best made products ever in Magic, Craig Philsetti. Wow.
I agree.
So Magicians Anonymous said, thanks, just want to give stuff away. Oh, we've read that. Really cool. Zach, I really hope Magic Israel, I really hope Blackpool Magic Convention happens. I'm going through hoops to travel from Israel. I got asked to do a lecture in Israel in October. I think no new restrictions will be imposed on England as the British Prime Minister has a strong growing opposition in his party. And I think that's the same. I think that's true. Has Craig ever reviewed Magnet O or Magnet O? Is it? If not, he needs to. Also on one of the earlier podcasts, you guys talked about magicians who were most talked about this year. Who were the most talked about this year? David Jonathan will be one of them. Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, David Jonathan's great. And Magnet Zero. Not only did I review it, but in the 2020 end of year awards special, that was awarded Trick of the Year for 2020.
Yeah, and I seen a trailer for his new thing coming out with Murphy's of the day, or the performance of it. Have you seen it?
Well, Henry Harrius.
No, sorry. Oh no, I was talking about David Jonathan.
Oh right, Magnet Zero is a Henry Harrius.
Yeah, but sorry, the guy Chris said at the end of that comment. Sorry, he said that one of the most talked about magicians of the year will also be David Jonathan too.
Definitely. Are you talking about the one with the countries?
I don't know which trick David Jonathan. Oh no, I'm not talking about the one with the countries. I'm talking about something completely different. The one that I've seen. Okay. It's gonna fuck you up. I'll share you a link. Chris Daggies says, look at it again in a Quiver Plus and also Himba by Quiver. Great video for Quiver. I have a Himba. Do you have the Quiver Himba? I have one of those right here.
Yeah, it's great.
So good. Why Kevin Luck would want to see you for, he also says, perform Cognito. Cognito really is an in-person thing to perform. Mustafa, I know Mustafa, man. He said, that's something. All right, Dexter Chris, exactly that. I for myself don't like ham washing. I was looking for something really casual. Thank you, Chris. Michael Amar asks, what's your favourite force? I need to learn how to become other people. I'll pretend I'm Craig Petty and just piss everyone off. Mustafa says, I'm digging your room from setup, Lloyd. Thank you, dude. It looks kind of cool from this angle. And then
Mustafa, what about my setup? I've got a blank wall behind me.
You could at least fucking green screen it. Put something cool.
Why would I want to? Hang on a minute.
Wait, you can do that on Skype, right? You put yourself on a roller coaster or in an aquarium. But Mustafa, man, you should see the other side of my room. It's fucking disgusting. I've got an exercise bike, a fan, shitload of prototype boxes, MacBook boxes, old TVs, spray paint, a printer on top of the skinniest chest of drawers, and a massage table. It's gross, and I can't actually walk over there. Really love the stream.
There you go. Happy, Lloyd?
So much better, man. Thank you.
Welcome.
Where are you? Are you in? What time of day is it? Oh, so you're probably based in Cali.
I've nipped over to Murphy's head office. I'm looking for Dead Bob.
Dead Bob the puppet. But overthinking what can go wrong can be a bit of a paralyzing trap. That's in response to you saying make sure you overthink. That's true, but it can also at least protect you if that thing does happen to go wrong.
Yeah.
The guy who asked the question, Punk BMX, said, such good advice, Craig. I get so excited about new tricks and never learn a single trick 100%. My wife loves magic and would love me to show her something. Thank you so much. If I ever teach... Do you ever teach people a trick when they're desperate to learn magic? I do.
Yes. I kind of use it as a marketing opportunity.
Oh yeah, of course, because your business, yeah. Well, if
do you know what I do? This is clever.
Oh, I thought you meant for the other thing. No, go for it.
So if somebody at a gig says, I want to learn a trick, what I did is I spent about a day filming 12 really simple, easy to do tricks.
Yeah.
Like beginner tricks. And I uploaded them onto Vimeo as password protected videos. And then what I do is I have an automated email sequence in my CRM. Along with a web form on my phone. So if somebody says, hey, can you teach me a trick? I go, look, I've got to be honest, I'm really busy right now. I get that question a lot. If you give me your email address, I'll get a video sent out to you this evening with a trick that you can learn. And not only that, I'll send you another one every month for a year. And then all I do is I take their email address down in my phone and their name. That automatically triggers the automation. Then every single day for a year, every single month for a year, they're going to get a trick off me. And it's going to be an email going, hey guys, hey, I hope you're well. This is your trick this month. Thank you very much. By the way, remember, if you need a magician, here's a link to my website. Just give me a call. So if they or any of their friends need a magician in the next year, who do you think they're going to go to? The guy they met at an event that's now emailing them with really cool tricks they can show their friends and family, or do you reckon they're going to search on Google for some random guy?
They'll probably just hire themselves because they know 12 tricks now. So
Exactly, they don't need to worry anymore.
Well, that's such a Craig petty thing to do. Normally, I just tell people to write down the name of a playing card on a piece of paper and then do the crosscut force. And you'd be, it's just like local people that like beg me to learn something. And I say, like, say they're going to force like the ace of club or the jack of hearts even. I'll tell them, put it on top of the deck. And then so that's secretly there. But I say, to take out a different card, it's not the jack. Pretend you're putting it in a very specific place. Like that. And then they have the prediction on a piece of paper folded up. And then crosscut force, I said, and I teach them about time misdirection, like, brief time misdirection. And use that. And you'd be surprised at how powerful that is. Because I kind of just basically do that myself for some effects.
Right.
But that's what. But the reason I'm saying this is because Punk BMX, I would perform something like that for your first trick. Super simple, super hard to figure out. Can't really go wrong, and it's quick and punchy. Okay, so let's get through some more comments. We've got so many coming in here. I'm the same. I can talk to everyone, and that's my job. I'm performing. That's from Punk BMX. Lance Bowen. You also have to watch out for a certain person falling asleep drunk in their chair while working. Maybe we won't talk about that one, Mr. Barnes. I fell asleep drunk in Blackpool. Well, on the clock. Alex Bowe says, is there anything coming out to keep an eye on? Love the podcast as well.
Yeah. Quite a lot. I mean, if you're talking right now, I'd get the Orphic Wallet by 1914. It's killer.
Yes.
If you're talking about in the not too distant future, Lloyd's got a couple of really good things coming out soon. I've got a couple of tricks coming out soon. Look out for a trick that's coming out this year by Angelo Carbone. It's going to be killer. If Javier and Lloyd can ever get their shit together, there's going to be the best index of all time coming out at some point.
We've got our shit together. It's just we're making it perfect. It's got to be the best one that's ever been created. I hope it just doesn't as a tribute.
What else is that? Yeah, I mean, there's good stuff coming out all the time. But Roddy McGee's new coin thing looks very, very interesting. I haven't seen it yet, but that looks really good.
Have you got it coming?
Yeah, got it coming.
Keith O'Brien quickly said, "I need a I'm thinking me need a cascading card by Keith O'Brien behind you." I fucking do, Keith. You know where I live. Oh, I can tell you. Mustafa also said, "Craig Petty, haha, I love your room setup too. Please check your Facebook. Sent you a DM." Have you seen Mustafa's app called Rain Man?
No.
Oh, I actually think it will become one of your workers.
Really?
I really do, yeah.
Tell you what, my two apps that I go to apps at the moment are Cognito and that R digit that I showed you. I'm doing the both of those all the time.
Well, Mustafa, hook me and Craig up with a copy of your app, and I guarantee you, Craig, will be going to your top 3.
Oh, wow.
It's really good.
Review it. I love apps. You and I have got an app coming out. A couple of apps.
Did we want to tip that? Well, too late now. Can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
We don't need to say anything at all. Just that we
do have 2 apps coming out, and it's our stuff. So we want to say it's incredible. Let's say they're average. Let's under promise.
Look, you always underplay your shit, and it's like, oh, it's okay, it's great, it's not bad. No, it's fucking amazing, guys. It's the best app of all time.
It's a pretty fucking powerful app.
Cognito from a massive height.
I'll say this, right, because I don't like talking about stuff that has my name on it. Because it's more your idea, I think, the app, to be honest with you. But Cypher, I didn't think was good enough to release. Cognito, I was half and half about. Some people said I shouldn't have released Cognito because they didn't beforehand. They couldn't see how it was going to be good. This app, the one that we have the working version of, I actually think this is fucking worth releasing. That says something.
It opens up a lot of possibilities. A lot of possibilities.
Yes.
Of which we're going to be talking about tomorrow. But I've got currently 74 routines. We need to whittle it down a bit.
Chris James says, so I came as a runner-up in last week's contest. I wrote that long response. Anyway, Lloyd, on Facebook, you said you would owe me a favour. Make the favour an hour with Craig or myself. I was so close. Should we give it to him?
How about we do an hour with both of us? Do a three-way Zoom session.
That sounds good.
Yeah?
Chris, drop us a message. We'll get a three-way between me and
Chris, we'll
Craig.
have a three-way. You, me, and Lloyd. We'll talk about anything you want.
And me and Craig
And then I'll
will be
record the session and I'll
partially.
send you the recording afterwards.
How's that sound? Alex Bow asks, where will your apps be sold? So, through all Magic retailers. Any Magic shop online that sells Cognito will have the new app when it comes out.
Which is
should be
probably fairly soon, actually.
very soon.
Out of all of the stuff that we're doing, probably the one that's closest to being ready.
I mean, it is ready, essentially. It got a little bit to go. That's all thanks to Josh Riley, by the way. Josh is still in the stream. Take a bow right now.
Yeah.
And Josh actually took the core concept of the app and made it into something real, if you know what I mean.
And then made it better.
Yeah, but like what it is now, it's like, oh shit, it's really, it's real. Like it's not. Yeah, it's hard to describe, but
It's 20 times better than how me and Lloyd envisaged it, and that's all because of Josh.
yes. So bow down to Josh. All right, we got some more questions. That could be the 74 single trip DVDs. That was from Punk BMX. Chris James. I was half kidding, but just had a heart attack. That's the guy who asked about either me or you. Yeah, well, please do seek medical help. King OK. Who's your favourite magician? Just one name, Craig. No. So it's who's your favourite magician?
Can I give one stage, one close-up?
I'll allow it.
Stage, Scott Alexander. Close-up, Rune Clan.
Wow. Have you interviewed Rune Clan?
Nope.
No.
No, but I will do. I remember he's very closely affiliated with the Vanishing Ink team, and considering I've spent the last few weeks calling their CEO Kermit the Frog, I don't know.
Yeah, there is that. So.
Although we'll talk about this on the podcast next week. Andy did a great job on Fool Us.
Yes, I
Yeah.
watched it. Yeah, God, I literally,
man,
I couldn't work it out straight away.
It's really good.
Fucking
really
very,
good.
very smart.
Really, really good. But yeah, so what was the question? What was the question? Oh yeah, Rune Clan. So I fanboyed big time when I went to Magic Live. He brought out this old VHS tape called 3 Pieces of Silver, which is insanely difficult coin magic, and I learned every single trick. Every single trick.
Wow.
And I remember meeting him at Magic Live, and I was introduced to him by Joshua J, I think. And we had like a 5-hour session in the bar till like 3 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't Magic Live, it was the IBM SAM convention at Kentucky.
Wow.
And 3 o'clock in the morning we were just sessioning. And I said to him, I do every coin routine you do, you know. And he's like, I can't even remember half of them. And I'm like, no, seriously. He's like, prove it. And I just stood there for half an hour performing every single trick that he's ever created to him flawlessly. I'm like, I fucking love your magic.
Yeah.
But he's such a funny guy as well. Have you ever seen the introduction to his stage show?
Yeah. Oh my God, I've seen his stage show.
So, do you know the smoke chamber at the beginning?
Yeah.
He's the only person I know that bought a £10,000 smoke chamber as a gag. So for those people that haven't seen it, the opening of his stage show, He's got this big fucking smoke chamber. If you don't know what a smoke chamber is, it fills full of smoke. And then the performer walks out. He's got like this big, massive stage, and it's all backdropped green with arrows pointing towards this smoke chamber. And this music comes on. Do, 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 do. And the thing starts filling up with smoke, and lights are going around everywhere. And you're like, fucking hell, this is epic. And then you just see him walking on for the wings, and he goes, wow, that'd be cool if I was in there, wouldn't it? And the lights come on and he goes into his show. He's bought a £10,000 smoke chamber, complete with all the rigging that you need to do it, for a gag.
You know, he's the magician that I've laughed the hardest at ever in my entire life. You know, if you watch a comedian, like a proper comedian, just not a comedy magician, like a proper comedian live, and somebody when they're live, they're 10 times funnier, and like there's the moment when you can't even hear what they're saying anymore because you're just still dying laughing. That's the only time I've ever experienced that was with Rune Clan, and he was just on another level. Somebody said, let me read you this comment though from David Teamroth. Rune Clan performed for my company earlier this year, and I cancelled the event since they hadn't announced it beforehand. Surprise performance. Imagine my face afterwards.
Oh, man.
Oof, that's on you, man. That's on
you.
What's the best thing you've seen recently? From Weekend in Luck. It's Orphic Wallet for me.
Orphic Wallet.
And the new app that the new app's the most exciting thing that I've seen recently because I was genuinely excited when we got the first version of it. Like I was like, woo, jumping around.
The other thing I'm very excited about that we keep talking about is what I now have tattooed on my arm here.
Oh, fuck.
That 16-digit number there.
Don't say anymore. Don't say anymore. Okay, so we have it's 7 o'clock, so let's start to wrap it up. But let me get through. So Chris has asked, not sure where to mess you. Your Facebook is swamped since Cognito. My Facebook is swamped since fucking ever. Please message me, Chris, at my email address, admin at. Oh no, actually do it at just separate it. Do lb at themagicpodcast.co. Email me there, and then I can set it up for me, you, and Craig to jump on and jam. So, another question. Who do you think will be the best magician that will be in Blackpool after Craig?
Everybody wants to be me. What can I say? All the men want to be me. All the men want to be me. All the women want to be with me.
Want to be inside you. What? I don't even know the lineup.
Well, I'll tell you the lineup very quickly. Give me a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll tell you how I can do it. I know where to go. Right, okay, here we go. There we go, got it. This is your lineup.
Where did you get it from? So I'll look at it too and give you my...
The Blackpool Magic Convention official site. If you go...
Got it.
There.
BlackpoolMagicConvention.com. Artists.
Andrew Basso. Paul Zenham. Jean-Luc Bernard. The Christian Fowler Show. Florian Sandvert. The Showgirls of Magic. Topaz. Paul Zerdin. Lynette Chappell. Enrich Ocampo. Daniel Rosenfeld. Barney Addison. Nicola Arcane. Graham Shaw. Stuart McDowell. Mark Calabrese.
Okay, wait. Before going through everyone, they want to know who your favourite one is. What's the best one there?
Oh, okay, hang on. My favourite one. The one I'm most excited to see, in all honesty. Okay, so the person I'm most excited to see, and I don't know if people know this, look, they've hired Laura London to do her full cheat show as one of the evening events.
Yeah, that's going to be fucking amazing. I've never seen the full show.
I've always wanted to see her full show.
I've heard about it for years as well. Everyone raves about it. I'll tell you who my standouts are that I really want to see. Hopefully it's a lecture, but Nick Einhorn and Craig Squires. I think their lecture will be amazing. Your lecture, obviously, but some of the comments said after you because you're the best one there. I want to see John Lenihan. John Lenihan will be huge.
I'm interviewing him next week. He's amazing.
And Calabrese. I fucking love Calabrese, man. He's my boy.
I'm going to text
He's
you over now.
epic.
Because we can't say anything just yet. Have a look at your text messages.
Yes.
It's not been announced and I can't say anything, but that's the person I'm most excited to see.
Dude, this is a dick pic.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Oh yeah, dude, I am 1,000,000% with you. That's going to be the only event that I am not missing.
Oh man, I am so excited. Genuinely so excited.
I'm very cautious not to slip up here.
Yeah.
I'm trying really hard not to, because
they haven't announced that. That's a surprise.
yeah. And then after that is when we go live.
Yeah, straight afterwards.
Whew. Oh,
Yeah.
Nelly. Oh, Nelly. Oh, my God. I can't... Oh, I nearly slipped up. I nearly said it then.
Don't say it. Don't say anything.
Anyway, I think that's coming to the end of the live stream, guys. We've been on for a solid 2 hours.
Lloyd gives value, man. I've got to put my kid to bed.
Yes, me too. Let me really quickly say, review said Craig won all Creator of the Year Awards 2021. What went right that he can share and we can learn from? I think that's another question. A question for another time, because it would be a long answer. Or work
Well,
hard.
why don't we answer it on the podcast tomorrow? We're filming the podcast tomorrow or Tuesday. Tune into the
I will
podcast on
screenshot
Wednesday
it
and
now.
we'll answer. Write that down, Lloyd, and remember it. And we'll answer that question. Because that's a good question to answer.
Okay, and then let me just read the other questions out just so I can speak. Juan Jimenez, Lloyd, need a tutorial on your classic palm. Make it happen, please. I've seen this question being asked a few times. I think it's from Juan as well. I am going to make a classic palm tutorial video. It'll go up on my YouTube, but because it's been asked multiple times, but I think it's by yourself, I will do it. Either for tutorial Tuesday or next Sunday session, because I'd like to give something a bit more visual for tutorial Tuesday, so I'll see what I can get it in, but I'm making that video. So then we have last things. Punk BMX, if you had £50, what one effect would you buy and why? Should we answer that tomorrow on the podcast?
Yeah, let's answer that tomorrow. That's a good
And the
question.
podcast will be on Wednesday 9 p.m. UK time, which is about 1 p.m.
You can get it on
California
Spotify, Apple, basically every single podcasting platform you've got access to.
Rory's,
you can get our podcast.
Yes. I'll go to themagicpodcast.co. The website, and it'll tell you where to find it if you can't find it. Rory said, I went for food, came back, and you're still going. We are, but now we are going, which is good. Alex said, loved it, thank you. Michael Patterson, thank you, enjoyed that. Lance Bowen, have a great evening, gents. Zach Garza, thank you, guys. Punky Mex, cheers, guys, that was great. Thirsty Juggernaut, thanks, guys. Always good to be a fly on the wall. Juan, yes, sorry if I'm boring. Juan, you're not boring. I can't wait to teach you the class palm. Why, Kevin Luck? Thank you so much. Awesome session. Juan Jimenez, thank you so much. Juan Jimenez, you make my day. That is all the comments. I'm not going to read another one. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the Sunday session live, weekly, here on YouTube. And thank you, Craig, for joining us all. And
Anytime, man.
And for teaching that fucking amazing walk around triumph routine.
I never taught my coin routine that I promised I'd teach.
Oh, well, we should probably do it next week then.
I'll be back next week. I'll just ride on you folks out. I'll come next week. I got nothing on.
Yes! I hope you've got clothes on.
I'm only dressed on the top half, but don't worry, I'm sitting down, so it's all good.
Guys, the big announcement, if you missed it, we are doing a Magic Podcast live episode special at Blackpool 2022, straight after the gala show at Gillows Bar.
I am going to be drunk. He'll be sober.
And I will be winding Craig up drunk, which is going to be hilarious. Every time Craig says anything egg related, he has to do a shot of Sambuca on stage. All right, guys. Thanks.
Very quickly, have I told you the T-shirt that I've had designed to go to Blackpool in?
You fucking have. Yes.
No, not that one. I've got another one.
Oh, God. Well, is it a Sunday session exclusive?
It's a picture of Josh J. Photoshopped, so it's completely green. And it's got over the top, it's not easy being Josh.
Oh, I think you need to bring a gum shield, helmet, pads, This is going to be a fun Blackpool.
It's gonna
All right,
be great.
thank you everyone for tuning in. You guys have been great. If you've skipped to the end of this podcast, Craig teaches us an amazing triumph just like an hour back. So go and learn that. I'm gonna start practicing. See you all on Tuesday. If you haven't done so already, please everyone hit that subscribe button. It's the tiniest gesture that you can do, and it goes a long way for me. Helps me know that you're there, ready and watching. And I'm back Tuesdays for Tutorial Tuesdays, Thursdays for the weekly wife test for live performances of new and old creations, and they get reviewed by the most honest person you can perform magic to, which is your wife or your favourite person. So it's the weekly wife test, and then Sunday sessions currently are running live every single Sunday at 5 p.m. And Craig, what's going on your channel?
Tonight I've got a review show special on 9 o'clock tonight. I'm doing a full review show special on the Orphic wallet, complete with a 25-minute interview with Louis Lavelle, exclusive to Magic TV. Everyone wants to know what this wallet's all about. You're going to find out on my channel at 9 o'clock.
If that is not the best content on Magic YouTube right now, then nothing else is. So everyone go and head to Craig's YouTube channel, which is Craig Petty Magic TV on YouTube. Simple.
There you go. Simple as.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in, Craig. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you all very soon, guys. Bye-bye.